let me just tell you all the 3 things that I would like to accomplish tonight, so that we would keep on track. I did this for me, right? First thing, to get you, I want to get you all to identify the difference between a healthy and an unhealthy relationship. Um, so as we go through the reasons why women stay when they should leave, it's supposed to get you to a place where you look at your own life and you try to pinpoint if you are in a relationship because of any one of those reasons. And if you are, it means you are in an unhealthy relationship. And the other thing that I would like to accomplish tonight is for you to determine if your relationship is toxic, if it is unhealthy. And then by the end of the session, the last thing I would like for you all is to be able to help you to build up your self-worth. What I would like is for every single woman on this call to come to a place where you feel that all you need is really God, His presence, His love, that you feel complete and whole in His love. And so that now that you're complete and whole, you can now be a part of somebody else's life and share, who you are with that person. Because what happens a lot of times is that we try to get into relationships and we go into the relationship dependent, wanting, needy. Everything is about what I could get, and that type of relationship could only stay pleasant for so long. Yeah, it can't go on for too long, that kind of dependency, right? So those are the 3 things. Let me start off by saying, guys, love is a beautiful thing, and it's actually what God made us for. When God saw Adam in the garden and he was alone, he was like, nah, Adam can't stay like this. I had to send somebody for Adam, right? And the plan was always love. Even God's love towards us, his plan was always love. The garden, the beauty of the garden, everything at man's disposal. God just showered us with love, right? And his plan for us as humanity also is for us to love. It'll be a sad life to have no love at all. We need connections with one another. And God's plan is for us to fall in love and to have a family and to have a purpose in him as a family, right? And so I'm not against love. We are not against love. I know everybody here wants to feel love, and God also wants you to feel love, right? Satan is the one who has distorted love and brought us to a place where it's so twisted that we can't even tell if we're in love or not. We can't even tell if what we're in is good or not, right? We can't. Satan has twisted love and messed us up, basically. That's about thinking where love is concerned. So I want everybody to have a healthy, fruitful, loving relationship with their, let's say you have a boyfriend intended or your husband, right? But to get there, we have to understand a lot about ourselves first, right? Before we even start thinking about a partner, right? So let me say, before I go into point number 1, last thing before I go to point number 1, it's not so much important how you feel when your relationship starts. Let me ask you ladies a question. When you first met your significant other, or let's say, okay, the person you're with now, where you might be with them for a while, right? But let me ask you a question. Wasn't it like all lovey-dovey and you're calling each other and you're giggling on the phone, where you actually feel a little nervous around the person? You want to call them every minute, and it's not one-sided. That's the other thing when it first starts, right? When the love relationship first starts, it's never one-sided. At least I hope not, because if it starts off like that, well, but it's normally the 2 partners mutually attracted to each other, pursuing each other, wanting to be with each other, and it starts off good. Even in, everybody good is relative, but you enjoy the person's company. You love it. It's exciting. Your blood is pumping. You can't wait to see the person. It's great, right? Everybody agree that's how it starts, right? That is not, you and I know, ladies, right? That is not how the relationship will necessarily end. That's not how it evolves. That's how it starts, right? But as you get down into the relationship, there's certain things that come, start to manifest itself in your relationship with the person. and you realize that these toxic emotions and things start popping up, right? And you wonder, well, where were those days? And then you have this long period of, well, what's going on here? I thought this was love, right? So I said that to tell you ladies, to let you know that sometimes when a relationship starts, it is not necessarily love, ladies. And many people push a relationship into years, 4, 5, 6 years, based on an infatuation and what we call chemistry when you meet. You know this thing people talk about with chemistry? Girl, when we meet, it was just something, girl. And well, how to put it? Especially when there's sex involved early, when there's sexual intimacy involved very early in the relationship, and you all are compatible in that area, that for you is an indication that this is great. This relationship is the best. It feels like, right? And so you start off the relationship and you keep going on those feelings that you had for the first couple of months. For years, you try riding that out. But that was never really love. It was never really the real thing. And so you try to push and push and push based on those feelings you had in the beginning. And you realize, wait now, this wasn't really, there's nothing to sustain us now, right? The excitement of the sex is gone. The excitement of our initial interactions and meetings and all of that lovey-dovey, that's gone. And so without the excitement and without the heart palpitations, without the butterflies, when you get down into the relationship, you realize, whoa, where am I? How did I get here, right? And so I'm going to start now with number one, the number one reason why, well, I'm calling out points, but it doesn't mean, I'm not saying this is the number one reason. This is the number one on my list. I'm not saying that this is the top reason, right? But this is a big reason why women, it's different for men in most cases, why women stay in relationships when they leave, right? They have become emotionally and financially dependent on the person, right? That's my number one reason. So it has become a relationship more of codependence. This person has become everything to you. This person not only helped you financially and took you to a place where, let's say you had a particular lifestyle before you met them, actually similar to Marissa. You had a particular lifestyle before you met them, and all of a sudden you finding yourself in Australia, right? All of a sudden you finding yourself in this, it's like, you know what? I want you to move in with me. I mean, she never took the bait with the moving in, right? But he have a mansion and he said, you know what? I want you to move in with me, right? Maybe things weren't going good for you at your home and he made a way for you to come live with him. He paid off some of your bills. He buy from the ghetto to Australia, right? Right? So you become accustomed to a lifestyle that this person has offered you. You've become accustomed to the person emotionally. You become emotionally attached, to the person. You have this sense of, I need you. I need this person to make me happy. I need this person to fulfill, to give me pleasure. If this person is not in my life, I don't feel as happy. I need this, and it's a bunch of needs. It's like you become dependent on that person in almost every way. That person, to describe it, that person becomes your life, right? In a lot of cases, we spoke about this in one of the sessions before. You even drop your friends, you drop your family. You had good friends and family. All of a sudden, they're on the back burner, and this man now is everything. This man has become everything to you all of a sudden, right? And you have become emotionally and financially dependent on him, right? Love, ladies, is not about what you could get. Love is actually the opposite to that. And if we would even look at God and his love, he said, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son. He gave his very life. He showed us the ultimate love relationship by sacrificing the most important part of him, his son, for us. And at that time, we wasn't even interested in God. We didn't care about God. We didn't want to do nothing with God. We had no business with God, but he still sacrificed for us. That is that is what love is. Love doesn't take, ladies. Love actually gives. That's what love is. Love is not self-centered. So when, as a woman, if you're in a relationship, now, please, let me say this. Nothing is wrong if you meet a man, right? who has blessed your life, who has made you, who has taken you out of debt, right? And he probably did it because he really cares about you. Let's say he really does buy you a car, right? And really bless your life. Nothing is wrong with that if this person is genuinely trying to help you. Here, what the problem is with this situation, because you have become attached to all these things and it has changed your life so drastically, even though the relationship starts to go downhill, right? Even though it starts to get toxic, you actually don't even enjoy each other company that much again. It's always an argument, it's always a quarrel, it's always a mistrust. Where it was, let me see your phone. You don't call me, you don't care about me, you don't message me again, Julie Day, where it was, it's 2 hours I didn't see you. Who is that girl I was talking to? You all know the drill, right? Even though that is what your relationship has become, and you don't even feel loved anymore, ladies, right? You feel like I just did this thing, okay, wake up, right? This is what it is. I'm in a relationship with this man. You don't even feel loved, you don't feel appreciated, and you know the relationship is toxic, but you refuse to leave because of the attachment you have with him. So you know it's bad, you know it's not going anywhere, but you have become dependent on this person for almost everything, right? Ladies, let me tell you something. That is not a reason to stay in a relationship. At what cost am I in this relationship? Am I going to put a man and the things maybe he might be providing for me above who I am and above my word? Is this man the source of my emotional happiness? Is this person the source of my pleasure? Can I be happy without a man? Any man? Can I be happy without this man? And if you can't answer those questions positively, if you cannot say, yes, I think I can be happy without this man in my life because the relationship is destructive, you're in a bad place, ladies, right? And so I would encourage you. So number one, you can write it down. You have become, so you, if anybody's in that position now, you've become dependent, both emotionally and financially. I want to encourage you all to trust God, like Marissa did, and say, God, I know that this could never be your plan for me. Listen, ladies, God's plan for you is not to be in a quarrel every day and toxic environment and fights, and that is not God's plan for you. God wants you to live in peace, to have an environment of peace and love and harmony. Not that it's going to be perfect. In every session I do, I always say that. It's not that the relationship is going to be perfect, but you all work things out harmoniously. It's not a fight. It's not a cuss out. It's not a, calling names. It's not degrading, right? You all have a relationship and you all communicate together. You all communicate properly. You all get things resolved. Yes, it may be difficult at times, but it's a love relationship, right? So that was number one. You become emotionally and financially dependent on the person.